What is up, Preston Outdoors fans? Finally getting a vlog done on a Monday. It's been the first time probably in at least 2-3 weeks here that I've actually been able to do a vlog on Monday. Just got done working from this morning, so we're gonna run down here and see if we can't do some fishing. Also want to let you guys know that I've got in contact with EP Fishing. Since he was one of the ones that won a shirt. I have not heard back from Up North Bassing and Hunting and Fishing yet. So those guys got till Thursday to get in contact with me. I'll put my email in the description, or otherwise you can go like my Instagram page and message me on Instagram or something like that, or message me on Preston Outdoors on Facebook, something like that. But I haven't heard from the other two guys, and EP Fishing, I already told him I'll be sending his shirt out probably sometime this week. Today's obviously Martin Luther King Day, so most of the stuff isn't open. So we're gonna go see if we can do some fishing here after a long day of work, and hopefully the fish work with me, because the last week and a half, 2 weeks, it's just been tough. Been a lot of cold fronts going through, and the barometer just been going high, low, and just switching all over the place. But today we got a falling barometric pressure, slightly falling, steadily falling. So we'll see if we can't go catch some fish. As you can see, we just got set up, got the depth finder running here. We're gonna, if you watched my other video on basics of ice fishing, if you haven't, you need to go watch that before, it'll be easier for you guys to understand what I'm doing here. But for you guys that have watched it, or know something about ice fishing, I'm gonna set up my bobber here, slip bobber, and then I switched it up. Instead of using a little glow hook, I switched it almost to a little, almost like a skinny spoon with an eye, and it's gold. I'm trying that, a little different. A buddy of mine, he uses a lot of these, not this exact one, but a lot of this style baits or lures on the bottom of his bobbers, and has been having great success. So I'm going to try it out, and I've only had it on here for a couple times, so we're going to try it out again here. But we're going to get this thing set, and usually on this rod I like to go with a, oh, that's a wily one. I like to go with a bigger minnow. I don't know why. And then my other rod I run a smaller minnow. And as I said in that other video, here's the dorsal fin. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but I'm running it right underneath the dorsal fin, not too far down. As you can see, that minnow is still really lively. We're going to drop him down. Check the depth here. Make sure it's right. Sometimes when your rods bounce around in your truck and stuff like that, they kind of, bobbers and stuff, the depths get kind of messed up. So we're just going to check it here. There's already a fish on the bottom. Isn't that something? There's already a fish down there. Now my bobber, it's hard to tell where it's at right now. There it is. But there's already a fish coming off the bottom. I already kind of went away, so I don't think he's too active, but it's something to look for right away. It's always a good sign when you can see fish. That doesn't mean they're always going to bite. The minnow's probably 6 inches off the bottom, something like that. And so we'll let him sit there. And I'm going to put my green rod holder up. This rod always goes in the front right hand corner. That's where I like it. Check and see this. Oh, just flicked my minnow off. Well, I have to get a new one. Well, this has been tough already. Been sitting here for an hour and a half. I've only seen like 2 real fish. The rest are I thought were fish, but just distractions on the depth finders. And yeah, it's tough. I don't know, the last, for me anyway, I know everybody's gonna be catching fish somewhere. It doesn't matter what kind of fishing you're doing, but the last week and a half has just really been tough for me to catch some consistent fish, and not even enough fish to really make a video for you guys. But I figured, you know, since I got done with work on time today, or not on time, but early enough to get some fishing in, I thought, you know, we'd give it a try here. But it's just been tough. But hopefully this next week there's going to be a warm front coming through, and the barometric pressure is really going to level off, I think, and it's going to be hopefully be pretty good. But like I mentioned, kind of the tail end of that last ice fishing video, basics ice fishing or whatever, if there's anybody around the, you know, eastern North Dakota that really hasn't ice fished before, or has a little bit and kind of want to get out and try it and kind of learn about all this stuff, like I said before, I'm gonna be doing a little ice fish guiding here. Take you out, and you can use all my gear and stuff, and we'll go out and show you how I ice fish and see if we can catch some fish or whatever, and kind of get you a little more experience and see if you really like it enough to go buy some of this stuff. But, or, you know, I know there's some guys that subscribe from Minnesota. If you're, you know, not too far away, I don't want to be driving 5-6 hours away, but even if you're over there and you want me to come to your lake and show you how I would attack your lake for some ice fishing or whatever, you know, that'd be fun. You just gotta let me know. My email address, it'll be in the description below, and then also you can message me on Facebook at Preston Outdoors, or, you know, Instagram, stuff like that. Just message me if you're interested for me to come over there or whatever, or do some around my local area, and you want to get in touch with me. You can get in touch with me there, and then we'll figure out a price and stuff like that. But if you want to learn some more, but I got about another half hour here until the last couple times it's been, the fish have shown up, so we'll see if something will show up here. Big fish, big fish. Oh my gosh. I don't know if that was the same one. Came off the bottom, took a peek. Oh! Wow! There was a bite. That was a little fish. First bite of the day. Little fish came in, didn't even turn red on the depth finder, it was just a little green line. And he barely pecked that rod bobber. It was just like, pink. I was waiting for it to turn red. Because usually if they're outside of that cone on your depth finder, there'll be a green, and the closer they get to the center of your cone, where your lure is at, they'll get bigger and turn into red, and that fish didn't. Let me know, he was a small one, but got a little bite on the buckshot. Oh, he missed it. Fish just flashed on the bait and missed. Oh my gosh. How do you miss? Oh! Came back and pecked it. Just pecked it. The first time he just flew off the bottom and sat right on it. Actually went above the bait, and then so I slowly moved it up to him. You just tell he missed it. So what I'm gonna do now, using that rip and wrap again, I'm gonna take a little minnow head here, and they're just not eating it the right way. Well, that one came up and sat on it twice before he actually even popped at it. So I'm gonna give a little flavor on there. We'll smell with that little minnow head and see if that can entice the bite here.
Did I catch anything?
No, I seen 4 fish.
Oh, have they nibbled it?
Two of them bit, and it was real like, boop, just real light. So I think they were small.
Oh.
But otherwise, just after you guys left, there's about 15 minutes where there's a fish down there at all times, and now it's been about 20 minutes and I haven't seen a fish.
Well, there's a guy down there that caught a walleye.
Did he?
Just a small. Yeah, he was there for 10 minutes and pulled out a walleye.
Did you guys get anything?
No.
No? It's tough.
Yeah.
It's really tough, especially with all this weather coming through, and maybe by mid this coming week it should be good, like Wednesday, Thursday and stuff.
Yeah.
But so you guys got to go back to school then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. School's no fun. What grade you guys in? 5th grade? Jeez. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Nothing happening. You guys headed home?
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. Running into some subscribers. Well, this is the tough part about making a fishing vlog, is that when the fish decide they don't want to eat, produces kind of a anticlimactic vlog. But on that note, a lot of these videos and stuff, I like to give you guys some tips, and the ice fishing topic has been really hot on the channel. A lot of questions from you guys and stuff, so even though we didn't catch any fish today, I hope you guys will learn something here. Again, this is a rip and wrap. This is number 5 I've been using. And like I mentioned before, a couple of those fish came up and just tapped this barely. And so I added a little minnow head on there. That didn't seem to really help the incident. I just don't know why they wouldn't bite it. I had, like I said, I had one fish really rip off the bottom for it, and he didn't bite. So that was kind of funny. But another thing I want to talk about, if you're fishing clear water situations and they won't bite, say a rip and wrap, something like that with a lot of rattles, this is another good option that I hadn't talked about yet, and I don't even use it that much. But here is a Northland Tackle puppet minnow, and my hook's all messed up on the bottom, but then there's a minnow head on there. This is the, you know, fire tiger perch color kind of thing. Or there's also the Rapala version, the jig and wrap, that are real popular. And this lure, obviously it's an airplane lure basically, and you jerk it and it kind of darts off, and when you let it sit, it kind of spins back in a circle kind of thing. Great summer lure actually, this too, in a bigger size. Vertical jigging. If you haven't seen people catching walleyes and bass and stuff on this, it's a really good summer lure, vertical jigging or casting. But in this clear water situation, I've been fishing the last few days with a high school buddy of mine, and he's kind of been kicking my butt with this style lure. He's using the what do I call it, the jig and wrap. We haven't been catching many fish, but he's been doubling the fish I catch. You know, the other day he caught 5, and I think I caught like 1, and then he caught 3 and I didn't catch any. I mean, the fish aren't real biting, but they seem to be liking the lure like this. But it doesn't have any sound to it, so it's more of a clear water situation. And then again, you'll just drop it down to whatever, and then you can kind of bob it with the minnow head on there. If there's nothing really around, you can kind of really rip it and get it going. So this is another lure you might want to throw in your arsenal. And if fish are hanging around, and you don't really have to call them in, if they're just hanging around, this is another good lure that you can throw that might get them to entice them to bite. I've also got some questions on this rod carrier I have. It's the 5-prong, fits 5 rods in here, and it sits in that 5-gallon bucket. But this is from 0 Degree Tackle. My grandpa had got one of these at a little bait shop somewhere, and he picked it up and thought it was cool and never used it. And so then I got this one, and another buddy of mine actually for Christmas or whatever gave me another one of these. That's where you see my other rack of rods. But then this just sits in a 5-gallon bucket. It's kind of a cool way to take rods. So I just take them out of the bucket, and you can just set them right there and pick out your arsenal. I did have a couple rod cases with the ice fishing rod sleeves on there. Gotta love when the GoPro battery goes dead. But this is another, you know, easy way. Like I was saying before the battery went dead, people sometimes use rod cases with rod sleeves, and I've done that before. But when it comes to this, I like leaving my baits on there so I can just grab it and go. And if you reel down the drag enough and keep a rod with a slight bend in there, they're not going to really pop off unless you bounce them off something. And then what I found is you got to reel up your rod and set it to where the handles are pointing straight up, otherwise they won't fit in a 5-gallon bucket. And I actually can keep 6 rods in there. You kind of just put it in the 5-gallon bucket, and then you can take these other rods and push them. So then there's a gap right here, and then I'll put it in the bucket, and then this one will sit right in here. So you can actually fit 6 rods in a rod bucket. So that's why I don't use the rod cases and the rod sleeves. I do have some rod sleeves. I do have a couple rod cases. I just don't really use them. The only time I really use them is if I'm going, like last year I went up to Lake Winnipeg, and I only took 3 rods with me because I knew I wasn't going to use any of the smaller rods. It was going to be using the bigger rods for fishing up there. Or if I'm going on a trip, like last week I went down to South Dakota, I used this, but then we didn't have much room for the bucket, and so it kind of bounced around and tangled up some of my lines and stuff. So if I'm going on a bigger trip to where, say, I'm using someone else's house, or I don't need as many rods, I will put these in a rod case. But very, very minimal do I ever do that. So another tip that you might not think about, but I do it every time I'm out. Now this is just a kind of a rough minnow bucket, but I got my minnows in there. I just put the lid on there just like a strainer kind of. And anytime I'm out fishing or anything, obviously your minnows are going to be swimming around. They're going to kind of be stressed out and going to be using a lot of their oxygen supply in there. And this isn't a very big container. Usually what I like to use is an ice cream bucket, but I didn't have one. And they poop and stuff in there, and there's even a water bug in that one. That's pretty cool. But then I'll just stick this thing fits in good in an 8-inch hole, and I'll just stick it down in there, fill it back up. That way I filled it too much, but that way you're giving them fresh oxygen. And don't, I've done this before, the hole that you dump these their water at, don't give them new water out of that same hole, because you're just putting all the poop and stuff back in there. So it helps. I've found it helps my minnows stay alive a lot longer. Obviously with a 5-gallon or ice cream bucket, it doesn't work real great with an 8-inch hole, but you can do it by squishing the ice cream bucket and sticking it in there. Obviously your styrofoam buckets and stuff are going to allow the minnows not to be froze or freeze as quick, but I use this as a little styrofoam bucket I always carry inside this bucket in case we split up and I don't want to have to hoard all the minnows to myself. Or if my dad has the big minnow bucket, I'll take a few and put it in there. But cheap, and it gives me an excuse to eat some ice cream, so I have minnow buckets. It works out. So I'm gonna clean up the stuff here. I got the light bar on, so you'll be able to see this. We're running a little time lapse or something here, and then turn the camera on when we're back in the truck. Well, like I said before, it's really tough making a fishing vlog, and today was real tough. 2 itty bitty bites and marked 4 or 5 fish. But again, I hope you take something away from those tips about ice fishing lures for you guys that are ice fishermen or getting into it or something. Those are just some things that I picked up along the way. As you know, most of my, at least for sure, my fishing videos, I like to give you guys some tips on how I was catching them, or something you can take and try and learn from. And obviously wasn't catching them today, so the stuff I was using wasn't working. But that tip with the little airplane lure, that Northland Tackle puppet minnow, that just some ideas that you can use. Again, just some ideas that you guys can use. Today was the first time I ever got like I said at the beginning of the video, a Vlog Monday recorded anyway, because we got up early and got our work done today. But I think 2 or 3 weeks, and I'll be heading back down to Texas. We're going to be kicking off the 2017 tournament season. I want to thank you for the new subscribers. Thanks for showing up. It was awesome. Like I said, those 2 guys, I think up north, Bassin and Hunting and Fishing, you still got to get in contact with me. You have till Friday, otherwise we're going to redraw on that video. EP Bassin has got in contact with me, so I'm going to ship his t-shirt out sometime this week whenever I have time between work and trying to make some videos and stuff. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Again, hope you took something away from this. And again, if you any guys, younger guys, older guys, whatever it is, don't have much experience ice fishing, or want to maybe learn how I would attack your home lake or a lake you love to fish, get in contact with me. My email will be in the description. My email is also on my About page on my YouTube channel. And you can personal message me on Instagram and stuff like that, so we can get hooked up. Like I said, I only got a week and a half, 2 weeks left before I leave for Texas, and that's about as long as I'll be able to do some guiding for ice fishing and stuff like that. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video, and stay tuned for some more videos coming up. And I can't wait to get back to Texas where we can get some tournament fishing, get back on a big old bass. Thanks for watching. Preston Outdoors.